Okay, today we're going to put Microsoft on the stage, right? So Microsoft, right, is one of the biggest company right now, and very strong, the top player in the AI and the age of AI, right? It's going to hopefully do a wonder for us, right? Again, right? But now, what I try to decipher is that my feeling that Microsoft is a little lost in terms of the directions. I guess most would not agree with me, right? I think they're doing fantastically well and things stuff. But really, I don't really see. I mean, they're doing. They have a very strong hold. The Microsoft Office, this internet era, right? And they have Azure Cloud, which is one of the pillars, right? It's very strong as well. They have, AI, machine learning, and especially GitHub, right? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they are kind of not strong, but again, what happened is what happened. Moving forward, what are the direction? What are the major innovation, contribution, anything really significant, right? Other than keep putting more money on the table, right? Doing whatever they have been doing, right? It seems that again, I quoting, like they have a lot of strategy, but I just wonder the leadership there. Who should I put as a figure that representing Microsoft? This keep questioning, right? Nadella is a very excellent CEO, right? One of the best CEOs, the Indian origin, right? Originally from India. That's what I mean, right? Especially in last year this time, like if you remember handling the OpenAI, right? And Sam Altman, this saga, right? And eventually restored. It's earned a good reputation and also financially a huge gain. Look at the price of the stock and so on, right? Market capitalization of Microsoft, shooting now for sure, right? That's great. I mean, it's credit, right? But in terms of AI, like large language model, right? They are using OpenAI, but where are they? It is still a good partnership, or is it kind of some sort of they need to rethink that approach or strategy? Obviously, they have other like 5 or something, right? The smaller models and agentic work, copilot, agentic this, agentic that. They have a lot of strategies that keep saying that, right? But really, what is the direction? Do I know that? I mean, it's probably the one of those that if they leverage the kind of sovereignty cloud, that they footprint in the enterprise, like business side, right? Due to Azure and Microsoft traditionally have been established. That's maybe give them a head and continue penetrate that. But it's going to head-on kind of competition with OpenAI and Agentic probably going to line up and try to do. Although they also have competitions for sure, right? On the other side, AWS and Google probably also competing, right? What is their strategy to compete? That's what I try to see. Long-term view, like if you remember that we try to put them on the chart, right? Like I'm going to select 100 really potentially big and successful, significant individuals or businesses. Put on the chart, put on the stage. This is what I mean by building a stage. Therefore, we can monitor. In the bottom, there's a K line. Right? Whoever falls in line is gone, right? Being eliminated, right? That's going to be a lot of new new startups and even mid-sized companies, hopefully not the large companies, falling behind that, right? But they do have to a strategy, right? In the history, like like in Nokia, right? Is that so cell phone? Is that used to be partner with Microsoft, and I don't know where are they right now. Maybe they're still doing good, but I don't see that. That's what I mean. Even as big as Nokia, you could fall behind, falling below the line. You become irrelevant, right? I mean, that is why I'm thinking, right? You need a strong leader. Doesn't matter how big the company are. Maybe you are 3 trillion or 5 trillion, but if your leader is not have a leadership to lead the company towards tomorrow, like a future, then you are always not immune from falling below the queue line, right? Nobody is immune from that, right? That is why we have to we have to keep running, right? Instead, in order to keep the same position even in the market, right? Now, but here's a question again: who should I put on the Microsoft as a representation, like individual? I need to put a face to the business, right? Is it Nadella or is it going to be Bill Gates? I'm debating, right? I would say, let's see if I can find. I got also pictures and profiles from Wikipedia, right? Hopefully, it's a public source. Not going to get into some issue, right? Let me get that. Let's do it together, right? Okay, here we are. This is Satya, right? Nadella, right? We're gonna grab it and put on the chart. Bear with me. Okay, now we got it. And see, we put on the chart. Okay, where should I put it? US. You know what? I'm gonna put it in India, right? That's roughly where India is on this map, right? The reason I do that is that 2 reasons, right? Right now, Microsoft invests heavily, right, in India, right? Obviously, Satya was one of the advocates, right? Influential, right? His home country, obviously. The bigger reason is that India is a powerhouse in terms of AI, right? They have so many talents and incredibly talented people, right? We all know that in the Fortune 500, the top companies, right? The many the company, the CEO are from Indian origin, right? Nadella is one of the best, right? And Pichai, Google as well, right? And Adobe, right? I might put there. That's one reason, right? The other reason is that I really see that India and the US complement each other, right? I mean, US, due to the sanctions and national security, right? They would not trust as much as if you're from like China, right? Individually, be the CEO. I mean, honestly speaking, the Indian CEOs will do a better job. That's given. They're more, in a way, that right? From the democratic environment, right? The culture-wise, right? They used to be colonized by the British, right? And they connect really well. And the structure of the society is kind of similar, right? I've seen that many things to really win over, right? It's not a surprise, right? The education system is almost geared towards, sending these brilliant minds and talent to US or other developed countries, right? And there, you go to Europe, same thing. Go to UK, same thing, right? It is that's incredibly true. They're very talented, right? I mean, again, we have to admit that currently in the last year or so, right, a lot of different opinions in terms of, some individuals from the new immigrants, especially from India, like bad apples, right? It's every segment of the population of the cultural background of the nation, they might have some bad apples. You cannot really, it's unfair to say, hey, everybody who is of Indian origin, whatever, right? I really don't like that kind of way to look at people. You have to differentiate. There are so many CEOs, the chairs and principals in very prestigious universities and other organizations, the doctors, lawyers, Senate, Parliament, you name it, right? In Canada, US, everywhere, right? It's not because, this and that. It's really they're brilliant, right? They have a system where they produce good talents, right? They're really good at that, right? You cannot just say, well, because some bad apple will blame them all. That's really unfair, okay? So I'm thinking, right, the India probably complement the US quite a lot. In the long term, you still need, you can tighten up the immigration, or visa, whatever that is, right? But you need their talent, right? And also you need their market, I mean, thinking of Google, the India has UPI, Unified Payment Something Network or whatever. And really, it's kind of very much powered by, I think, Google or some others, right? And by that, eventually you collect all this data, right? Doesn't matter demographic or others, right? It's really a kind of integration, right? It's really, they keep the door open for it, right? Financially, technologically, right? We have all the labs there, floating back and forth, right? It's more integrated than any other country. After all, they have 1.4 billion. Right? Many of them are really good. You have to admit that. You may temporarily, shrink the integration, just try to do this and that. But long term, you still need our talents there to come and, be part of the fabric of the workforce, right? Admit it, but they are doing excellent job in terms of acting as the CEO, right? That's why, frankly speaking, I've put Satya, maybe even Pichai later on, IBM CEO, Adobe, right, in the Indian, partially because real estate, I don't have so much space in the US side, right? Okay, so we think we are only how many? We're targeting 100. There's a lot of hats and pictures and logos we have to put here, and we'll see. Right? It's not try to teach anything or influence you or anything. We're just to observe and think through. Right? So I'll do this, right? And I'll do this. I'll try to find a good title. Let's see what I should put as a banner. Okay, let's do it together. Let's put a banner. Let's put a banner. Let's call it. It's a long name, right? You don't. Okay, see how we're gonna position it correctly, right? Do this, right? And see. Okay, Microsoft, right? Right, let's see if it fits. Okay, so now that is where I asked the question. Maybe we should put Satya here, right? Let me see if I can paste again. I'll have to go grab that again from the Wikipedia, right? Okay, we got it. Okay. I would love to put Bill Gates on the board as well, right? As part of the face of Microsoft, right? The reason is that I think, by far, Bill Gates, founded the company, really push it to the the world stage become, number one and number two big company for so many years in the internet era, right? Computing, right? PC, probably still have a lot of influence there, right? Maybe if in the future we find a better representation, we'll put it there. For now, I'll put both of them here. Okay, again, I'm gonna go to put from Wikipedia, right? Let's do Snatch again. Once we build up the state, we don't have to be so slow in doing this, right? I think we don't have to have an hour-long kind of conversation, right? We can just, anything happens, it makes sense, right? Because we have a context, it's dynamics we know, right? For now, we're going to put Bill again as part of the Microsoft representation, right? Okay. So now I have explained why. So hopefully, you may not agree with me, but that's how I'm going to build up the stage. It's like I invite them to have a conversation or something, right? Okay. So now the real thing is that we're going to have to. We're going to. Okay. Is it good? Yeah, I think it's all right. So, okay, let's move on. So now, really, where is Microsoft? What is the Microsoft up to? What are they doing right now? Is it doing good or bad compared to the Google and OpenAI and others, right? What are the real innovations, strategic speaking, right? And they're making a kind of some breakthroughs, or they really just sitting on whatever they have accomplished, just try to sustaining that, right? By that, I have done my research, and I do use AI, right? But I'm not gonna let those crap thing, right, to be the major thing. I'm gonna really read it through, synthesize and think it through, and formulate my own opinions. That's what I try to build on, right? Let's see if we can bring it up a bit, right? Okay, this is more of the Microsoft AI ecosystem, right? Unified platform to agentic future, right? What is it? A Foundry there, right? On the left, there are 11,000 models in the catalog, right? Which is why in the title, if you see that they put Hugging Face there, right? Are they not doing the same thing? Or maybe not, right? The access models from OpenAI, Hugging Face, Meta, and more via a single interface, right? And the unified AI platform, right? End-to-end service for building, optimizing, governing AI applications and agents, right? I wouldn't call it a strategy, because everybody, right, can do that. If they have the money, right? Any big firm, it's not really innovation, right? But again, it is, they have the advantage, right? It is more of industrial at scale, right? Approach, AI at scale, right? They designed for enterprise sovereignty, multi-cloud. Okay, that's probably an innovation. Look at that. They also partnership with Oracle. Maybe another session we're going to touch on Oracle, see what Larry is up to, right? On the right, we have a sort of the agentic frontier, right? Copilot, reactive, co-workers, right? And GitHub. GitHub is one of the repository I use a lot, right? Everybody goes there. That's part of the Microsoft as well, right? And it's extremely kind of powerful. in the AI era, right? And especially next, we'll find some time talk about the AI kind of powered or enabled kind of coding, the software engineering, right? That's a significant change in any enterprise that customers need to be aware. That's probably one of the things they can really mobilize, but it's not just a efficiency thing, a different way of doing the coding or something, right? It takes entirely different mindset approach, right? And the API layer especially, right? The UI UX data engineering, right? We're also going to talk about ontology part, right? And machine learning, right? So those really need some really fresh, innovative thoughts, not just, we're just using AI to do coding. Right? No, I don't think so. And the other side is the workforce, right? The programmers, right? The engineers. What are the future for them, right? One of the things that I observe, or in my opinion, right, the aged engineers, like the guys who are 50 plus, right? They probably are going to be invited back to the front line because, in my opinion, they are more kind of capable in terms of, you think they're old, right? Like me, for example, right? But I think it is better than those developers or engineers or who do coding just using IDE, right? Because you need to see the architecture, the design side, how the business needs are going to be really served, and how you're going to put together the design patterns, the architecture, how different parts talk to each other. And also you need really essentially critical, excellent communication skills, right? You need to serve the business, the enterprise needs, right? It only comes with age, right? Unless you're born, you're natural, you're a genius or something, right? You really need to very, very deep in the engineering discipline, right? Experience, right? That is one of the comments that I'm going to make in this context, in this moment. I'm gonna, of course, once we build up the stage, I'm gonna dive in deep, right? See, now they have magnetic one and magma, right? Developing general multi-agent system. Yeah, multi-agent is gonna be this year. 2026, I think it's gonna go big. As I said, right? The software engineering team, instead of just using AI to do coding, really, you need to build teams, right? A different architecture, right? For this AI era, right? The way that AI works, right? LLM is already powerful enough, frankly speaking, right? In terms of the coding, right? You need a lot of engineering disciplines into it. You cannot, as I said, you cannot just put some powerful engine for fighting jet into a bicycle or into a tractor, right? It's not what you should do. You really should put into the right kind of AI plug-in, the right mindset, right? The way software engineering must change, right? I think couple, right? Capacity or whoever mentioned that, and many more is going to come forward, right? Those influential folks, right? But again, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, me included, right? I think, that's what I see, right? We're going to dive deeper than that, right? So now let's see what I have picked out. Okay, see, this is really what I like, right? In the future that I see, human beings, in my words, will be working with robotic beings or agentic beings or agent, whatever you name it, right? Another kind of co-worker, right? And together, right? That's the future that I see, right? And that is where the innovation should be focusing on, right? Because that's the need, right? But again, the human side, they need to change. They need to adapt into life, right? It's not just, having a chat window and talk. No, it's more than that, right? The whole process will have to change. The governance structure, the architecture, right? And also the regulations, right? We're going to see very different, user experience, right? That user will include agentic AI kind of beings, right, if you will. Those are part of the users as well, right? Not going to be just a window. Hey, you make it slightly more interactive. No, that's not it. We may not need a window. We could create an application or UI right away, a macro front-end UI, something, right? Spontaneously, right? That's right there, right now. But to do the job, dismantle it. We might assign a virtual machine for each of those interactions, right? We talked about individualize it and personalize it for so many years. Maybe that's a good opportunity that we really do it, right? You look at it, right? The personal product, productivity, right? The loop, human in the loop, and macro tasks, augmentation, right? And on the right side, the future, right? AI, that's where, AI as a team, right? They are digital workers, right? Some sort of delegation of the entire task, right? Not only savings, they're also able to open up new opportunities really quickly, right? It's going to be, the business model also needs to change, right? It doesn't matter. You're a bank, you're a lawyer, and you're a government, you're a manufacturer, you're a hospital, you name it. There's many domains vertically, not just one size fits all, right? Unless you really get into immersed with the business, you don't know. You cannot guess how the AI is going to be part of the workforce, right? But that's my take, right? I don't know. If you could put a comment and we can debate, right? Here we are is satire, right? The guiding philosophy is AI as a human amplifier. I agree with that. It's really like it's an amplifier, right? And I would love to see that we're not taken over by AI, right? Really, like if you're good, you amplify that, right? And you have to really learn, like as many as top players there. You have to check. You cannot just expect AI do everything for you and you're just sitting there. That is not what it is, right? It's like, framing AI as a scaffolding for human potential, not a substitute for people, right? AI will amplify what people. That's true. I really agree with that. Occupation must exposed to AI, seeing jobs and wage growth for sure, right? The execution engine is going to power the global AI adoption, right? Agentic AI, this is Microsoft Agent AI Research called EERI, whatever it is, right? In 2026, this is what I want to see, right? Microsoft is executing comprehensive AI that moves beyond the experimentation to physical. I would call it physical AI. Right? The AI kind of live and connect the physical, right? In a session with Apple, the Apple Lens is one of the things, the devices, right? We're going to look at that into those, right? This is one of the potential that many startups will have to get into, but in order to position it correctly, which is why I built up such a state, you're going to see a lot of opportunities there, although the competition, but we open many doors, really. We're not just trying to eliminate jobs, it's my opinion, right? But you do have to look, you do have to really have a overseeing eye in order to position it correctly. Don't get in the way of LLMs or Microsoft is a big company, you could be crushed. You might enjoy a couple of days of, I'm doing new toy, deployed some many agents. Who cares? I mean, I don't know how it's going to be significant that will be. The true entrepreneur will see the opportunity. You do have to have the market give you a real answer. Who is going to pay out of their pocket? Right? That's a real test. Right? And do you have the cash flow? Can you sustain that thing? Right? Can you survive long enough to be, either go IPO fully, right, like OpenAI, or acquisition or something, right, being absorbed into part of other businesses, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's really very encouraged, like what minus into Meta, right? And we're going to look at that merger and acquisition part in slightly later on, right? But that's very exciting, very essential for us to observe, right? And 2026 is start. It's going to see a lot, right? I think I do see some light in Microsoft, but it really is not strong enough to entice me to believe that they do have a strategy, they do have a strong leadership, they do understand what they are doing. I don't see those leadership demonstrated by Bill Gates, Jason Wang, Elon Musk, or even the Steve Jobs for Apple, right? Those type of leadership, or it is what I want to see, because otherwise, it doesn't matter how big you are, like Microsoft, you still risk being overtaken and falling behind the line, right? But I don't know who is that leader right now in Microsoft, or who is going to emerge to be. Obviously they have a lot of executives, but really, if you listen, if I have the privilege to talk to them for 5 minutes, no, right? Do they know what they're doing or not? Right? They may be very brilliant, smart, very capable, but again, the leader is a leader. You can tell, you can sense it, right? You cannot just give a lot of talks, and when I look at your results in a year or 2 or 3, I don't really see anything. Right? Yeah, you keep doing whatever you're doing, but it's not enough, is it? Right? That's what I'm trying to put together a stage to examine who is going to be the winner. Right? Because otherwise, really, you're falling behind. Not just I decide, but the market will, right? So let's dig deeper. Okay, we could take a break. But here's the leadership, right? You see Satya Nadella, the chairman. The core AI is J. Oversee the fundamental AI infrastructure and model development, bridging research and enterprise scale production. Mustafa, the Microsoft AI, the consumer AI initiative, focused on the developing the personal AI companies and Copilot, right? The Peter Lee, president of Microsoft Research, drives the fundamental research agenda, pushing the boundaries in physics, chemistry, biology, AI stuff, right? Okay. On the left upper corner, it's got EVP Cloud Plus AI Group. Okay. Spearhead the AI platform strategy. Okay. Those are the individuals we might need to observe a bit more. See who is going to emerge to be the person that I think I'm looking for. Maybe none of them, maybe some of them, maybe one of them. I don't know, but that's something we need to watch. Right? Okay, we're going to take a pause. See, need to dig up more. Okay, we're going to spend a moment looking at the Microsoft Enterprise Intelligence Platform. Okay, they had a converged strategy for agentic AI sovereign cloud in the future of enterprise operations. So what is the converged thing? Let's go quickly and see. Okay, Microsoft is architecting the definitive enterprise intelligence platform by converging its entire technology stack from research and infrastructure to developer and tools. Okay, that's a very good talk, but really anything that is impressive. Pillar 1 is industrialized foundation. Okay. What does it mean? Foundry. Okay, they have 11,000 different models. Okay, it's fine. What is this? They have a Foundry, a lot of models, tool surveys and control plans. And Sebastian said the governance and observability in Microsoft Foundry provide. Okay, they obviously partner with KPMG. Okay. So far, no, not impressed. The Agentic frontier. Microsoft is operationalizing this agentic AI research, transforming AI from a passive to be proactive. But it's more like a slogan, right? Anything? Let's keep looking, right? From the foundational research to enterprise reality. ARI, Agentic AI Research. Okay, global academic partnerships focused on the foundations of agentic systems, safety. Okay, magnetic one. What is that? It's kind of interesting. The generalist multi-agent system orchestrator. Oh, that could be useful in the enterprise, especially in the Microsoft leading kind of environment, but it's still kind of old school kind of thinking, right? Magma, a vision, language action, VLA foundation model that enables the agent to act in both digital UIs and physical robots using novel techniques like set of mark, action grounding, and trace of mark. It's something I can look up. What is Magma? Okay, now the Microsoft 365 agentic users the conceptual feature. AI agents have their own organizational identity to collaborate on teams and projects. Again, they build upon their strong base right now. But is any innovation there? I don't know. The coding agent is Copilot, GitHub Copilot. That's useful. Yet to see any actual innovation. Right? Agent-powered developer platform. Well, we need to look into that. If they can really, it's always a problem of the last M&M, right? Last miles or meters or millimeters, whatever you want to call it, right? So, okay, let's see. This is interesting. What else? Pillar 3, the bedrock of trust. Okay, trust. Sovereignty. Okay, I'd like to find out more there. Okay, architecting for the digital sovereignty, data residency sovereignty. EO, operational oversight and transparency, data guardian, upcoming European Board of Directors, customer control. That's interesting. Azure local. Okay. Seems to be geared for European. Microsoft, the strategy acknowledges the multi-cloud, multi-vendor reality. Open and integrated. Okay, this is more like the organization of. All right, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Microsoft plus Hugging Face. Why don't you merge together, right? Deep integration, bring over. Yeah, maybe. Well, in a way, it's already integrated or merged, right? That's what I've been looking for. That's good, right? We're going to do some deep dive into the acquisition, merger, or merger acquisition, starting from 2026. We're going to see a lot, right? That is one of the trendy things in order to attain growth, right? And defining the multi-cloud Oracle database. That's something I need to get into. Oracle, right? What is this? The emergence of frontier firm. Yeah, fantastic. If Microsoft can position for this, they still have a very vibrant future. The quantum AI computing, ambient, autonomous security, human-like agent, and operated. So far, a kind of slogan, I don't know. Maybe it'll get there, but let's see. Okay, let's continue to wrap it up, right? The initial state is kind of hard, right? We have to make sure the thought process is clear, right? How we're going to come by. Let's make sure that we know what we're doing is really try to build up the stage, right? And bring Microsoft on the stage so that we can see how they're going to compete with others, right? So again, they have a lot of good talks and architecture stuff, right? Now is the digital co-worker, sovereign cloud, yeah? And the future isn't about replacing humans, it's about amplifying them. The AI agents are set to become digital co-workers. That's encouraging, right? So let's see how they're going to get it done, right? What is it? It's integrated strategy for enterprise agent side. Collection, not a collection of tools, but deeply integrated. Okay. Layer by layer, the sovereign foundation, trust, governance, data residency, the intelligence factory, models, data extraction, and agentic workforce. Okay, that's very encouraging. So sovereign foundation, no country can define its digital sovereignty if it is not cannot define its digital border, right? Okay, that's good. Sovereignty without compromise. The bedrock of enterprise AI. Okay. As governments and regulated industry move mission-critical AI workload to the cloud, the digital sovereignty is the primary design requirement. Microsoft's strategy provides innovation on a foundation of trust and control. Okay. Essentially, data residency, sovereign controls, and operational oversight. Okay. Makes sense so far. Encouraging. The intelligence factory. Good visuals, right? The Foundry, the AI development, consolidates the entire AI lifecycle into a unified operational environment. The catalog of models integrating with Hugging Face, search, document intelligence. Okay. But why do they plug in the internal, or do they have to deploy the whole thing? Unified governance, Azure machine learning. Okay. Foundry agent survey, design, collaborate, debug, multi-agent. Okay, that's good. AI content safety, built-in real-time content, filtering, jailbreaker detection, and harmful content monitoring. If this pans out, this be good. Really get into the governed enterprise-grade AI. Okay. Let's see. The most advanced model secured for the enterprise. OpenAI 4.5 multi-model for all daily 3 reasoning models, optimized the specialized models, Whisper for robust speech recognition and translation, the flexible deployment pay-as-you-go, provisioned batch. Okay, very encouraging. Don't know how many enterprise actually are their customers for now, or is it really for 26? The open platform for your data and tools. True enterprise intelligence requires connecting AI to your unique data landscape, the existing interoperability, Azure AI Studio. Okay. Integrating with your core system, Oracle, Azure, Hugging Face. That's the visual that's pretty good. My co-worker there, Agentic workforce. When pilot coding agent, GitHub, gonna work independently in the background, complete tasks, just like a human developer in the back office, right? No, in the front office, just behind you, probably, right? The paradigm shift from reactive assistant to proactive. Okay, it's local in the past. Now it's in the cloud. In the past, it's synchronous. You have to be there holding hands. But now it's in the background. You don't have to couple. Manual steps. All right, now it's automated. In the past, the untracked. Now it's totally transparent, collaborative. Okay. I'm really kind of learning, eye-opening. I hope it works out. Right? The first did it work for developers, GitHub Copilot coding agent. Going to operate autonomously and handle. Okay, fix bugs, implementing the new features, improve test coverage, update documentation, address technical debt. All right. Very encouraging. Very encouraging. Autonomy with enterprise-grade guardrail. Okay, the security, compliance, and attribution, human in the loop, restricted sandbox environment, limited branch access. I yet to see an implementation in the actual enterprise, right? The agentic vision extends across the entire productivity suite, transformed by grounding the powerful large language, right? Of the organization data. Okay. All right. Again, it's the frontier, the Agentic Frontier 2026 Outlook Infrastructure Value. moving us to is AI valuable? Okay. All right. Context intelligence. Context engineering replacing prompting. Okay. Agency autonomy will start prompting you from prompting to verifying. It will handle data crunching and content generation. So very encouraging. Do I see a actual case that a success in your customer ecosystem? Anybody has been doing this? Or is it futuristic? The agentic workforce, intelligent factory, the sovereign foundation. So very good catchy phrases, right? The Azure AI Model Studio delivering the integrated operating system for the agentic enterprise. Sovereign foundation, the intelligence factory, the agent workforce. I mean, again, reflecting on this, it's all very encouraging, but I don't know how much those can be implemented in the real world, right? And what is required. Whoever your customer is, the ecosystem, what do they have to do, right? I guess you could put into a sort of pilot and prove to the world that it is doable and it's not too costly, right? It's good to see a success, not just a futuristic vision, right? But like the vision, it's an excellent vision, right? It's very good. Again, it's approaching an hour. Let's see, is anything else we need to cover? But I think we successfully bring the Microsoft on board. A couple final thoughts, right? Let me pause for a bit and get a sip of water and come back. We'll close it up, right? So this maybe give us some hint to close our thoughts today, right? The paradigm is shifting from the AI assistant to the AI colleague, right? We need to get beyond the argument of slope versus sophistication and develop a new equilibrium that accounts for human being equipped with this new cognitive amplifier tool, Satya. Moving from AI that augments the individual task to AI that operates the autonomous statement. And this represents a new phase in enterprise AI. Phase 1 is rule-based automation. Phase 2, up to 2023, is AI-assisted work. Phase 3, Agentic AI 2024, present. I think this is arbitrarily made up, but makes sense, right? The meet your new digital colleague, the agentic user, right? The agentic user is autonomous local digital worker, right? This is own organizational identity. All right. It's even registered in the Microsoft Intra ID, dedicated, okay, autonomous operation. So needs to authenticate and authorize, right? Okay. That's encouraging, right? It never thought it's going to become like an employee, right? This is not just a board, it's a governed organizational identity. Entire system is enabled by Microsoft, the intro agent ID, a new identity management framework designed specifically for AI agents. Wow, that's very encouraging. It's something that I call innovation in a way, right? Permission, access control, lifecycle, governance, and compliance, right? What is the governance? Okay, every action is logged, not at all. Integrated is per view and ensure that comply with the governance and security policy. Integrated stack powering the agentic enterprise. This is a cohesive ecosystem, not a collection of separate tools designed for secure, scalable. Oh, from the bottom you have foundational models, other OpenAI third-party models like agent development platform, the Copilot Studio, AutoGen, identity and security, Intra, Agent ID, okay, integrated layer, Microsoft Ground, Power. It seems you propose the whole enterprise run on a Microsoft stack, right? Are you allow them to sandwich in some other vendors or platforms? How is it supposed to be interoperate? The reality is in every big organization that have all sorts of platforms, vendors, right? It is a community, right? It's an ecosystem. Not going to move all of them into Microsoft platform, or are you, right? That hopefully is not what you're proposing, but I don't see that. Foundry provides a governed universe of AI models. Okay, GPT-5. Okay, that's fantastic, right? What is this? AutoGen reimagines the foundation for multi-agent workflow. Okay. The synchronized event-driven architecture, modular, extensible observability debugging, cross-language support. That's all fantastic. What are these? And again, is more like PPT. Multi-agent orchestration did team for product launch instead of one monolithic agent, a team of specialized agents collaborate. Okay, I got it. Risk management. Two kind of PPT like. I don't see a crisp statement that convincing and communicate the message, right? The agentic revolution is already delivering real-world value, supply chain millions of annual savings, and T-Mobile active users, BDO, Colombia, HR and finance, response latency, Virgin Money, 65 service, deflection rate, ready chatbot, okay. And Virgin Bank, is that Virgin Bank? Virgin Money, okay. Well, the future is agentic. The present is dominated by small, specialized models, right? Analysis of 50 more downloaded entity from Hugging Face representing 80% of total hub download, reveals a clear trend towards smaller models, right? Less than a billion parameter, right? Contrary to the hype, the large language model not being downloaded massively. Is it because the capacity needed to run that, or the cost, or anything, right? The open source landscape, right? Hugging Face, right? Is, yeah, again, I'm here try to chip in a bit. Open source is the way to go for the enterprise. You know, maybe hopefully that's built in, and not everybody has to use the Foundry, right, what you propose, right? And human experience transforming from software to silicon. Okay, adaptive dimming and no, yeah. I bet not everybody like it, right? Any case, so emerging AI divide. Are you super user or a surface user? Super user. By the summer, expect many people who work with Frontier as though they live in a parallel. I feel that for sure. Three strategic imperatives for the Agentic era. Engineer context, not just prompts, right? Design for autonomy and agency. Measure the economy value, not just the usage. Navigating the inevitable challenges in the past, autonomy. Technical challenges, hallucination is a risk. Context window limit. The money, we're going to talk about that, memory, right? Stuff. I think the enterprise knowledge base, security concerns on the data, right? You're not grabbing the data and train your model, right? That's still a way. You have to be able to explain it, that kind of transparency. I think eventually the regulator is going to hold the humans accountable, not the agentic entity, right? Not sure if, yeah, that inter thing, and you can determine which agentic AI agent or something that committed the crime, but how do you hold it accountable, right? It still has to be the human, whoever kind of accountable there, right? Ethical, legal, bias, and fairness, transparency. You have to be engineering that, make it more auditable, right? Explainable, and also traceable, right? You have to report it to the regulators, I suppose, right? They might spot checking you, right? All right, the future of work is hybrid team of human and AI agent. Must develop the new equilibrium. Accounts for humans being equipped with this new cognitive amplifier tools relate to each other. Today's CEOs will be the last generation to manage only human employees. That's true. That's a good phrase. Will oversee hybrid teams of humans and AI agents. I mean, like in Toyota, I remember that the consultants, is counted as machinery, right? In terms of the cost, right? It's on the ledger. Right? Now it's a reverse, right? We count machinery like agents, whatever, a digital thing as human, as entities, actual workforces. Well, you see, we're turning the table, right? History always making jokes. Have been fun about, right? The workforce tomorrow is arriving, right? It's time to welcome the new digital colleague. Okay, welcome. Thank you for joining us. All right, let's wrap it up, right? We can continue. Like not every time we need to do an hour, we might spend just 5 minutes to focus on one thing. But without paving the ground, build up the stage, bring everybody in a context, in a more contextualized way, it is hard to make sense of the individual event, right? That's what I'm trying to build together, right? It takes me some time, but once you see that stage is out, you see all the players there and dancing and winking to you, you'll see the fun, right? I also have two friends. One of them called Max Fade, introduced to some of you as more of the agentic on the business side. The other is Barossa. It's more of the enterprise ontology side of it, right? It's also a digital being, if you will, but they are distinctive characters, right? They're my friends. I will make them to join the conversation once in a while. For today, I'll leave them alone, right? We had an hour talk. We need to wrap it up soon. Okay. What should I leave you as a last impression? Let's see. Okay, let's look at these 5 gentlemen here. The leadership engine, an integrated C-suite of the AI era. Satire and the team, right? Oh, let's see who is going to emerge and rise at the star tomorrow that could represent Microsoft, right? That is where we need really to put on the chart, maybe replacing one of them, right? Okay, well, we finally successfully bring Microsoft on the chart, right, on the stage. We're going to continue to build probably Oracle, some other like we're going to see, right? But for today, thanks for being with me. You don't have to. I mean, later on you might come around and see. Thinking together with me through that the exact time, right? And it's not really for teaching you or any other stuff. Just thinking through it's very excited to be part of it, right? It's better than just do a little video commercial or try to make some fun, jokes or whatever impress you. Nope, not even tempting. Just to be part of the process and see what we can do. We're all active players in the field, right? We should get on the stage and see if we can compete, right? And if we're not, we're going to fall in behind, right? We have to be, right? So opportunities as exciting as this AI and robotics era is not easily coming by, right? Not even once in a century, right? But I encourage you to really come along together with me to get through, bring everybody on board, and also we get jump on the stage. We'll see who's the winner, right? Simply say that, right? If you're not, you'll be falling behind the lines. You become irrelevant. All right? It's not easy to accept that fact, but you will be, right? All right. Thank you.
对酒当歌，人生几何？譬如朝露去日苦读。